This week, a video surfaced from the lefty YouTube channel Cut, which asked respondents, what are white people superior at? The answers were predictably unpleasant. Take a quick look.
What are white people superior at?
What exactly are white people superior at?
They're real good at violence.
Violence.
Genocide. It's like stealing people's lives just because they feel like it.
If you are white and you know this is happening and you say nothing, then you're a killer too.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Insecurity, pretending,
Fear.
Being fearful of nothing.
Being ignorant.
Blame.
Letting their egos control their every move. Superior at being.
This kind of open racial hatred for white people is the exact opposite of tolerance and acceptance, the exact opposite of what Martin Luther King fought so hard for, but clearly our society has come to think this kind of lunacy is normal. We're joined now by two of our favourite people here on Outsiders. Haven't seen them for ages, but up on the wall, there they are, Shemeka Michelle and Benji Irby. Great to see you both back here on Outsiders, where you belong. Benji, you're in your car. You must be back in the cab business. Is that what's happening? Benji, how are you?
I'm great. I'm not in the cab business, but I am on my way home down here in lovely Miami Beach, Florida.
Lucky you. Shemeka, how are you? Lovely to see you. Now, I want to ask you, there's so much to talk about. Trump has just spoken. Want to get your points, your opinions on what Trump has just said in a second. But Shemeka, I want to ask you about that video that we just played, and also, what is the mood in America? Is that a genuine representation of African American points of view in America, or is that just a kind of extreme fringe group? What's your take on it, Shemeka?
No, I do think that's an accurate account of the views from a lot of African Americans in America because of the way the left pushes such racist, divisive rhetoric. We could ask that same question, what are Black people good at? And we could say dodging accountability and responsibility, because that's what we're looking at right now when we turn and point the finger to the white man as if the white man is completely responsible for the things that we are failing to do on a day-to-day basis. We have so many issues that we can actually focus on and try to commit to change the Black community and the way that we actually see ourselves, that we don't have time to be focusing on anyone else. But that's exactly the way the left has pit us against each other here in this country.
Now, Benji, I want to play you the clip from Scott Adams, who's the cartoonist who does the famous Dilbert cartoon. Just have a listen to this, just have a listen. It's self-explanatory.
So if nearly half of all blacks are not okay with white people, according to this poll, not according to me, according to this poll, that's a hate group. That's a hate group. And I don't want to have anything to do with them. And I would say, based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from Black people. Just get the away. Wherever you have to go.
So, Benji, that is disgusting what he was saying. He got cancelled accordingly. But isn't this what happens, this constant ramping up of racial hatred? Isn't that the problem?
It exactly is the problem. And I mean, as a Black person, I can definitely tell you that, we're not a hate group. And when Black people make comments, they're the same way. They're just as bad. Like we had the actress who just said she's only rooting for Black people. So we have like this whole idea of the races going back and forth against one another. And one of the things that he said in that video that I noticed, he was talking about videos of Black people beating up white people. Then you see videos of white people beating up Black people and police brutality and things like that. And unfortunately, we are in an attention economy in which people are just posting things that are going to get like the most likes and the most clicks, because that's money for them at the end of the day. And unfortunately, we have a media and we have people, powers that be, that tend to always want to put Black and white against each other for their own political gain. But as we know, most people in the world, and I want to let all our Aussie friends know, those videos you see on the internet, that is not all of America, obviously. We're not all beating each other up at the Walmart and the Sears and places like that. But that we are all, loving one another, most of us, talking to one another and having situations where Black and white can come together, like on this show, how we're talking about these nuanced issues.
James.
Well, Shemeka, I want to pick up on something that Benji just said there about the attention economy. And, in all of my life, living the first half of my life in the U.S. and then now in Australia, but still returning every year, it seemed like race relations were never perfect, but kind of got better until I'd say about 10 years ago, and maybe I would say around the time of the Ferguson riots in 2014. That's when I think this attention economy really picked up steam on dividing Americans and getting social media clout by driving this wedge between people. How much responsibility do you think that the commercial mainstream media in the U.S. has to bear for driving the races apart?
A lot. You know, I feel like the invention of the cell phone created a lot of animosity between everyone, because every time you turn around, whether it's in the media or just on social media, we are constantly fed, you know, these videos or posts about the hatred that's going on. So I do think it had gotten better, but the more access that people have to information that's going against the unity, the more people start to feed on it. And I do think that the media does it on purpose, because they understand that if you can strike, especially Black people, in a space of, you know, the racial hatred that some of our ancestors had to endure, then you can kind of pull us by our heartstrings and get us to kind of follow along with anything, unless, of course, it's those of us that actually do our own research and understand the game that the government plays and that the media plays against us. But if not, then you're just going along led by emotion, and that emotion can overtake you many times.
Benji, I'm interested in your take on the Trump-DeSantis battle. Trump speaking at CPAC today. I don't know if you've had a chance to hear of any of that, but how do you think that's going to resolve itself? Do you see Trump prevailing and being the Republican candidate for 2024, or is DeSantis now got the momentum?
Well, as a new Floridian, I do love Ron DeSantis. I voted for him twice, but I love Ron DeSantis. I love Ron DeSantis as my governor. My president is Trump. Trump brought me to the party, so I'll be dancing with him always till the night is through. But I do hope that these guys are able to come together. You know, Ron DeSantis has not officially said that he was running. I think a lot of people are pushing him. And the issue that I'm having with that is that I feel like a lot of people are pushing Ron DeSantis only because they don't like Trump or because they don't want Trump. So I really wouldn't want Ron DeSantis to fall into that trap of running, because at the end of the day, as a voter, as a Florida resident, I voted for him for all 4 years of a governorship here. And when he was on the in the debate with Charlie Crist, a Democrat, Charlie Crist asked him, he said, so are you going to run to actually run, or are you running for president? And he stood silent. I don't think that was a good moment for DeSantis. I'm for Trump all the way. You know, should DeSantis be the nominee, I will vote for him. But I just don't think that this is the best time for him to come out. You ought to wait till 2028, in my opinion.
Benji,
all the way.
Benji and Shemeka, always great to get your insights into what's happening. Great to see you both. Lots more coming up in the next couple of years, so can't wait to see you again soon. Thanks so much for coming on Outsiders this morning.